I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Tadhg. Who wants to kick off? Michael again.
Yeah. Hi Tadhg, listen, congratulations on the win at the weekend, and I guess you walked a little bit taller into camp this morning.
Yeah, I suppose we did. Not too many of us, but we certainly did coming in here, which was brilliant. We've been well used to coming in here after a loss over the years because Leinster have had our number, but I suppose it's nice to come in off a win for sure.
How did it differ from the 2023 win in that there was so much talk about maybe Leinster's preparation for that game and the squad they selected, and on Saturday you picked, you took part in a very strong Leinster selection with so many lines?
Yeah, look, it was a strong Leinster team. I think whatever team Leinster put out, it's a strong team at the end of the day. Yeah, and I'm sure the counter argument for that as well is that they had many players who were playing their first game of the season. So I certainly won't be getting ahead of myself in terms of one win against Leinster and thinking we're at the bee's knees. I'm sure when we play them again the day after St. Stephen's Day, they'll be well up for it, and it'll be a very difficult challenge again. So very proud of the performance Munster put in for sure. Very proud of the start of the season Munster have had, considering the last two starts of the season. Really excited for the trajectory of Munster and the vibe in there, everything. It's all on a positive and very good outlook at the moment, and I've loved every minute being back in there.
How did you manage to keep taking over? Because obviously there was a break from the Lions, and then you missed the first 3 rounds, but it looked as if you didn't miss a beat, so there was no easing your way back in. And maybe previous seasons there might have been a couple of games to get used to everything, but you seem to not miss a beat.
Enjoyed my time off, first of all. I ended up, I had an extra week off. I took 6 in the end. Had a bit of a elbow clean out. So I got an extra week, and I was back into injury protocol first before getting back. So I had an easy enough run compared to all those Munster boys in the pre-season they had, but it was a nice kind of easy feel back into the squad, which I enjoyed. And despite me calling Faz hoping to play another game, it was the best thing for us to just play one before coming in here.
And did you call Andy about squad or provincial selection? Sorry, or
no,
just really good to go against
yeah.
And good news for Tom Farrell today, obviously, and he's been playing well for a while. What have you seen his kind of last couple of, a year and a half now, taking turn his spot?
I'd say Connacht are scratching their heads a bit, are they? How they let him go, and I think you've seen glimpses of how good he was for Connacht, and then he came in and he just hit the ground running with us. He's been, thankfully, and touch wood, he's been lucky with injuries in terms of staying injury free, which I know in Connacht he struggled with a bit, but the quality was always there. I've been playing with Tom for as long as I can remember, between Lansdowne and Leinster, before we both went in our separate directions, and I've seen the quality that he's had for a very long time, and it's no surprise that he brought that to Munster. And I think player of the season for us last year, fans player of the season, playmaker. I think he won for the URC. Kind of speaks volumes of the player he's been over the last 12 months, and he did it again on Saturday. He was brilliant. So he's 100% deserving of being in here, and excited to see how he goes.
And just from your point of view, building up to this game, like back in the day, obviously Ireland had beat the All Blacks. There was a real sense of awe about playing the All Blacks. What is that like now in terms of building up to play a team who got this vicious, fairly big rivalry with?
Yeah, for sure. I suppose kind of talking about this in the other room a minute ago about, I suppose, that Chicago game where Ireland were knocking on the door for such a long time to try and beat the All Blacks. They had that kind of perception where they were a little bit unbeatable, and I think that probably just put a little crack on it for the future Irish teams going forward. And I've been lucky enough to be involved with a few teams that have beaten them, and I think we have confidence over the last number of years that we're more than capable of beating them. So it'll be no different come the game in Chicago. We believe that we're capable of beating any team in the world, and but we have to get our stuff right first, and that's what we'll be focusing on over the next 2 weeks, is trying to take another step forward in terms of everything we do in here, because if we can do that, then we'll certainly be able to put it to them.
So you kind of touched on it there, but what's your own memories of that last game back in 2016?
Sitting around watching the game with my mates having a drink. I was certainly nowhere near this team back then, and I just remember being just a proper Irish fan that day, really excited about the game, and watching it, screaming at the TV, and loving every minute of it.
Obviously you've done some special things in the Irish jersey and against the All Blacks, but what would a win against them in Chicago and Soldier Field do?
Say that again, sorry.
What would a win mean against the All Blacks in Chicago, given what we said there about 2016? Yeah,
it'd be just a little bit of history for us who weren't involved 9 years ago. It's a very cool stadium that obviously have very good memories for a lot of Irish people, and to get to be part of that would be pretty special. It's going to be an incredible occasion. It's not too often you get to go over to somewhere like America and play a rugby game, and especially against a team like New Zealand. So if we're able to come out with the win, it's going to be a special day for sure.
It's the first camp where you're all together since Peter, Conor and Keane stepped away, joining Keith and Johnny, who's our senior group from the World Cup. Does it feel a little bit different now, and do you find yourself looking around at your own kind of 20s group going, Jesus, we're senior men now?
It's been like that. Kind of that feeling's kind of slowly becoming more reality over the last year or two. Certainly weird not having Pete and Murray and Church not here. Particularly the Pete and Murray for me is just being Munster and everything. It's kind of all I've known since I've been in here with them. I can't remember the last time I was in a camp without Pete. So yeah, that's definitely a bit different. Certainly one of the older ones in the group now, other than Bundy. But we were just saying we were in a little change room before the change room, a few of us, and we were laughing. We were saying it's slowly been dwindling over the last couple of years as a few lads, Earlsy, Murray and all that, retiring. So that's just reality of sport though. But the exciting thing is you see younger lads starting to come up through and bring an extra edge to training and everything like that. Those boys will certainly be missed, their experience will be missed, but as I said, it's part of sport. You have to move on, the game moves on, and that'll be me one day stepping away from Ireland, and the game just keeps going.
You obviously captained the Lions a couple of times. You captained Munster. Dan got a chance to captain the Lions. Even Josh has captained the Leinster the last couple of weeks. They were big voices and big presences and big figures. Do you feel like the work is done under the surface will allow you guys to still have a really strong leadership now that they're gone, and drive this on now towards 2027?
100%, and I think that's testament to what Pete did, isn't it? Even when Munster, he stepped down knowing he was going to finish up, so that he could, help. Well, it ended up being me or whoever was going to be captain of Munster. He was able to help them along their journey to becoming a better captain, and he's helped in this environment for such a long time. And all those lads who've left, Earlsy, all those boys have brought and taught leadership without probably even trying to teach it, and that's just a credit to the players they were and that leadership that they brought all the time.
Is it a mental adjustment that young players are coming to camp looking at you the way you maybe would look at Peter O'Mahony 8-9 years ago?
I've never really thought of it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose I looked up to Pete from day one. Didn't tell him though, until he was leaving. But I looked up to him till the day he left. He was just one of those figures that probably just he couldn't help but do that, because he had such a presence and such leadership, and obviously such a quality player. And there was a few players who have been like that in this environment that have left since then. But yeah, I suppose, I don't know if anyone does look up to me like that, but I don't think they'll be telling me if they do either.
And just like there's an argument that Ireland need to pick a team in the squad with the World Cup cycle in mind, and not necessarily to beat the All Blacks. What do you think of that argument, and is that hard to get your head around from a player's point of view, that you've nearly not put out your best against the All Blacks?
Every test match is hugely important. We're coming into a very important 4 games, which will obviously go towards the World Cup rankings as well. I think no matter what, you have to pick your best team available at the time, in my opinion. There will be young players who will come through and they'll put their hand up. They'll have opportunities in training to put their hand up, and if they do enough, then they'll be selected. And that's the way Faz will pick a team. He's not afraid to make bold choices, and he will do it if I don't play well. If I'm selected, hopefully I'll be selected for the first one. If not, but if I am and I don't play well, he won't be shy in saying I'll be dropped for the one after that. So it's on us. It's on all of us who are selected to try hold our position. And as we get closer to the World Cup, you just have to keep those performances going. And I think it's easy for me to say now, but I suppose age is just a number until it isn't, because your performance will start to deplete. And once that starts to happen, then that's when the squad will start to change, I'm sure.
You mentioned the Stadium Soldier Field, but like, does being in Chicago have any novelty for you as players? Is there excitement around that, or will you just be too flat out getting ready for the All Blacks?
No, look, we're going on a little mini tour, aren't we? So, we'll make the most of it as a team. When we're on the field, we're on the field. We'll switch on. It's on us to be all over our detail, be ready for the game, and we'll have opportunities to enjoy being in Chicago and get out and about, and just enjoy that kind of tour mentality and of being away from home and getting to see different places. But it won't take away from the actual main event, the real reason why we're over there. My thoughts.
Did you read Andy's book? Was that part of the homework for the squad? No.
I didn't.
Read
No, I haven't
you
read.
don't have any plans?
I haven't read any of those books yet. I plan to read them, but I haven't got around to it yet.